Straight pain. Straight pain, Josh. Absolutely straight pain. Welcome. Welcome to the Pittsburgh. Wow, to Pittsburgh. Josh, we haven't been doing this in the last
A
two
little
games.
rusty.
We're back. We're a little rusty here. Welcome to the Penguins Collective Podcast. My name is Louie,
My name is Josh,
and we're two brothers who love to talk about hockey.
especially the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh boy, what a doozy. All right, we took 2 games off. Happy Thanksgiving, right? We were like, hey, we're celebrating time with family. Josh did a solo episode against the Rangers. And then we had, which was a close game. I was watching it on the drive up to New York. It was a close game. Hey, keeping them to 1 is a pretty solid game. If you ask me, Josh did a great job going solo on the podcast. And we took 2 games off. And we haven't been playing great, Josh. We haven't been playing great. And the hope was today, when we came back, that we would be the good luck charm for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And they played really well today. Now, it is against the Nashville Predators. We have to take that in consideration. Our power play, once again, was very sucky. And we absolutely lose a devastating loss in overtime to the Nashville Predators, 3-2. 14 seconds into overtime, we lose. It's over. Written up. It's done. Ref said, I don't want to hear anything. They skated off. Now, we had other things to talk about. We did. But things have changed. We're in a new world that we're living in. 14 seconds than we were living. Oh, hitting the light. 14 seconds than we were living in before. Whole new world. Whole new things that come up. Pittsburgh Penguins got gypped. I was thinking of different words to say there. Gypped, Josh. Sidney Crosby skating, minding his own business, back skating, getting ready for the Nashville Predators to enter the zone. And all of a sudden he gets picked like it's basketball. They come into the zone, 1-on-1, shoots, scores, game's over.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you, was that interference on Sidney Crosby?
So I didn't see what happened. So I watched it live and I saw people on the ice, but I didn't see the collision. I just wasn't paying attention. And then I saw the goal and I'm like, wait, what happened?
How'd they get in there? Yeah.
So I rewinded it.
Rewinded it.
Rewinded it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I backed it up, and
yeah,
I watched it again.
Back it up.
And I'm like, oh, okay, there's a collision there. And then I'm like, okay, they're going to show the replay maybe of a different angle. And sure enough, they did. And I'm like, whoa, wait. Now I see why everyone's all up in arms here.
Yeah.
I immediately went, he's offsides. And
you went from a penalty perspective. I'm thinking, you went offside. I'm going penalty.
So then
he interfered.
So then they showed it again, and I'm like, oh no, he's onside. But I'm like, is that interference? I was questioning myself because now I'm like, I don't know, because a part of me is like, okay, just trust the ref. And then they showed the full bench, Rust. He's cursing out the ref.
Mad. Everyone was mad.
Sid
Patterson.
was mad. Everyone. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they missed the call. Got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's a penalty.
It was, so it's clear as day. So I'm not the only one. Watching that, I'm like, oh, they're going to call this. Live. Usually there's not that many times in a hockey game where I'm watching live and I'm confident that they're going to call a penalty. This was one of the times, especially in overtime, 3-on-3, when he got collided with, and I know what their argument is that he got bumped by Latank
Mhm.
Carlson. I'm not sure who was on the ice. Remember, 14 seconds. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
So it's one of our defensemen, and he collided into him. The Predator hit Sidney Crosby. Crosby's flying. That other Predator comes in 1-on-0 and shoots it for the win.
Forsberg.
Yeah, of course it's Forsberg. But my point is that when I was watching this live and that happened, I immediately thought that's a penalty. Waiting for them to call it. When Philip Forsberg was coming into the zone, I was like, oh, they're going to blow the whistle. It's dead. Even Jari,
Mhm.
if you watch it as fast as you can in 14 seconds, you saw Jari not really try.
That's why I knew something went on.
I think he thought it was a penalty.
His reaction, like, it was literally as if, like, he just, like, stood there and just, like, let him score.
I honestly thought,
what?
Yeah, he looked at the ref like, oh, we're calling that, right? Because that's blatant. And I think the problem with the NHL is that they don't care. Like, and we're coming into NFL territory where the refs make a call and that's it. And there's no overturning from the league. There's nothing. You know, like I think back to 2 years ago, maybe the Saints. And
that's a lot longer ago than you think.
The pass interference?
That's a lot longer ago than you think.
3 years ago? 4 years ago?
I think that was 2017.
No way, Josh, get out of here.
Because remember, after that non-call, they then made pass interference challengeable, and that hasn't been a thing in a very hot minute.
Oh, really? Well, my mind goes to this instance where game on the line, it was 4th down, and they threw a ball up in the air, wide receiver going up for it.
It wasn't really up in the air. It was like
it was a dart.
Yeah, it was a dart. It was Drew Brees. That puppy's coming in hot.
Yeah, Drew Brees. Oh, yeah, that's right. So it is a lot longer than I thought. So Drew Brees throwing the ball. Don't know who's the wide receiver. He goes up for it. The DB just comes in, like, just knocks him out. Like, not going for the ball at all. And they don't call a penalty, which it clearly was pass interference. They would have gotten an automatic first down. They would have had 4 more downs to score a touchdown to win the game, to then make it onto the next round. They didn't. Their season was ended prematurely. I'm pretty sure that was the same game that Drew Brees turned to Jameis Winston and said, "This is your team now." Was that not the case? No, Josh.
No. If my timeline is correct, at this point, Drew Brees is the starter and Jameis is on Tampa as the starter.
Stop it right now. This was before Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay.
100%.
Oh.
And just to really age it, I think the wide receiver that he threw to was actually the running back Darren Sproles.
Oh, that's even worse, Josh. All right.
Okay, but
I'll stick to hockey. Being said.
But, like, all right, you're making a good point, though, about the refs not caring. And this
the league not caring.
Yeah.
The refs making the calls, whatever.
And this is something that I have always loved about basketball. The refs will literally give a final 2-minute report. Meaning, in the final 2 minutes of the game, if there is a call that they missed, if there is a call that they made, they explain it. They explain. And even if it is missed, they will say, "We missed that. Our bad. This is what we saw. We didn't see, XYZ." But then looking at the film, okay, we see how this was missed. At this point, I kind of just want something similar. Is there a NHL referee association that's going to come out and say, "Yo, Pittsburgh, our bad here. That was interference"? And it's like, it's kind of like an accountability thing, but like, it's also like, you're going to get one next time type thing. And it's like, I don't know if that's what's going to happen here. Like, there's no, like, I don't know when we're going to get that ref again, like, so like,
Yeah.
when do we get ours next? When do we get away with something like that? Not saying like,
Not
now we
only
just start
that,
randomly checking players. I'm just saying.
right. When do we get what's owed to us? I'm not thumbs upping
Yeah.
live stream. When do we get what's owed to us? Speaking of that, Josh, how about this entire game? The Penguins were getting called for soft holds, soft trips.
Yeah.
And then when we got tripped up, when we got held, not
No
one
flag.
call on the Predators. Not one. We had what? One power play opportunity or two? We had two power play opportunities. And now, come on. Like in NHL, everyone knows, right? If you know, you know. When there's a call that's blatant, right? And the refs miss it, they usually go to the coach that wanted the call and say, you'll get the next one. Which means if there's a soft call out on the ice where you don't know 50-50, you're not sure if they're going to call it or they're going to, most likely they're going to call it to owe it back to the coach who wanted the call in the first place on the other incident. So now, where is ours? Like Josh is saying, that whole game, Mike Sullivan should have been more upset, I think. He should have been livid.
I think
The whole game. I'm not talking about the last moment.
Yeah.
He even said in his interview, he goes, he didn't really see it.
Yeah,
no one really saw
quick.
it because it was 14 seconds. Yeah. No one saw it. He's probably worrying about who's going up next.
It was technically 10 seconds because it probably took about 4 seconds for them to go from the blue line to score.
Right. You're right. So he's not seeing that in the moment. But I'm talking about throughout the game, Mike Sullivan should have been more upset, more on the refs for saying, hey, where's our calls? You've been giving it to them all night. Stop. I'm not thumbs upping. But, like, you need to go and start yelling at these refs and say, hey, you're giving them all the calls. Why aren't we getting anything here? And I think that's the problem. And then here, the moment it happens where the ref could have been like, I owe you one. That happens in overtime like it does Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah.
See, it's like a tongue twister.
O'Reilly.
Oh, auto parts. So when O'Reilly collided with Sid, the ref, knowing he owes one to Mike Sullivan, would have immediately called it.
I hear you, but at the same time, the owing thing shouldn't have mattered in that spot. That was so blatant.
Well, I know, but I'm saying if Mike Sullivan was more on the refs tonight, and that situation,
he would have gotten it.
Correct, because you even saw the refs go to New York or Toronto, and they were calling. They were like, "Should we? Is this the thing we should do?"
They were checking for offsides.
Yes, correct. They were checking for offsides. They checked Toronto for offsides, not for the call.
Penalties. Yeah, they can't do missed penalties.
I mean, they can. Not Toronto, but the refs. The refs could come up together and say,
sure.
That's not a call.
Yeah, but that's rare.
But I think they only do that if it's a call. They can't do like, oh, we missed a call. Should we call it? They only do it if it's called, and then they could take it back, which that should be more in practice. If it's a blatant call like that, call it. And then get together and say, you know what? It's not a penalty. It's not interference. Yeah. Now, I know what Predators fans will say, well, then they would have taken the goal from us. Yeah, that's kind of how it works, dude. It's overtime. Like you get one shot in overtime. So it's not like football where you get a field goal and then they have an opportunity. This is, you score a touchdown, that's it. So I'm kind of frustrated here as a Penguins fan in the way this game ended, because first of all, this game shouldn't have ended like this. We should have won it 3-0 granted, we were in the first period we were outplayed, but we were still there. We were still in it. Crosby was flying. We were physical. We knew what we were doing tonight. It's not that we played bad. It's that Soros played better. The Predators goaltender definitely outplayed Jari tonight. He definitely stopped all the shots that we threw on him. There was a lot of opportunities, not only from the first line, but the second line, third line, fourth line. Achari was throwing the puck on net like crazy tonight. And it just wasn't going in. Soros was good tonight. And granted, this team sucks. Okay? This team sucks and made them. This game felt like a playoff game. This game felt like 2017. Okay? It felt like a Stanley Cup game. It was back and forth. There was physicality. There was fights. There was goaltending matchups. This is what we want to see more consistently from the Pittsburgh Penguins. But the problem is we're playing bad teams doing this way. You know, if we played the Rangers this way, different story, right? It wouldn't sting as much. If we were playing the Devils, Colorado, any good team that we play, and we played like tonight, you would say, oh, okay, hey, you can't win them all. You know, we went into overtime. We grabbed a point, especially against division guys. Rangers, Devils, Carolina Hurricanes. You play these teams and you hope to get 1 point. You hope to get this. So it's not that we played bad tonight. It's that we played good and we went all in on a team that isn't good. And I think that's what's frustrating because Jari played well. Our defense played well. Yeah, I mean, there was some slow starts to the game, but we played well overall. You know, like, once again, we always go back to it. It's 82 games. You can't freak out. It's 21 games in?
It's a quarter of the season.
Quarter of the season. Oh, quarter of the season. This is the time to start picking it up. You know, and granted, we're going to have these games like tonight against teams that aren't that good, and they're going to be playing a little more desperately than we are. And it's going to come down to situations like this over time where we just get beat. Now, 14 seconds in, not a good look. All these penalties that were taken, not a good look. Our power play not scoring on the only 2 chances that we got tonight against the number 30 team in the NHL for penalty kill, not a good look. And that's what I mean by we should have won this game. We played well. We have the right tools. We have some bright and upcoming goons that I want to talk about. And they get overshadowed by a stupid loss like this. Imagine if we won. What a hero Ludwig would look right now. The dude played out of his mind today. He got into a fight. He was physical. He was putting pucks on net. He was the first one in the battles for the boards. Imagine if we won. That guy would have been on the third line tomorrow. Like, this guy is playing crazy, but he gets overshadowed by a stupid game like this. This reminds me of a couple games ago, Josh, when we have our live chat, a lot of people were on saying, hey, you know, we haven't heard much of Achari or a bunch of guys.
Nieto.
And I say, Nieto. And I say, it's games that don't mean anything, or we lose and their progress gets overshadowed by a dumb loss or by something that is just irrelevant, that it's not their fault. Here we are. It's one of those games. All the bottom 6 look great today. I wouldn't say great, but they look good. Ludwig, I love the physicality. I really do. I was so hyped for the physicality today. It was exactly what I wanted to see from our bottom 6. It's exactly what I want to see from the Penguins. But it's one of these games that we should have won. And it's very frustrating. The first goal was a deflection. Jari can't stop that. The second one, all right. And then, the third one was kind of rigged. So I don't know what you want Jari to do. Defensively, we played good. Letang is starting to get his groove. Carlson's on his groove. Pedersen played phenomenal today. Ryan Graves played out of his mind. He started playing better on his one-on-ones. He looked good, especially down low by the net. Everyone looked good. Crosby played out of his mind. Malkin, of course, slapping the stick, wants the puck every single 5 seconds. That's fine. Let him have the puck. Everyone's playing good. O'Connor's playing good. He got moved up technically down to the second line today because Rickard Rakell's out. But everyone played good. This is a game where we should have won. And it's frustrating, Josh. It's absolutely frustrating. And I'm not mad and I'm not worried that we're going to miss the playoffs. I'm not anxious about the future of Mike Sullivan. I'm not threatening to trade anyone. It's not like that. I'm not hitting the panic mode. I know a lot of people are. I'm not. I think we have a good roster, especially with nights like tonight where you see Ludwig come in and you're going, whoa, is that depth I see? Are we getting some guys that are willing to lay their body out so that Sidney Crosby, Malkin, and Gensel can go out and do their thing? Because that's what I saw tonight, and that's great to see. So I'm not hitting the panic button. I am not hitting the let's sell the team, let's fire the coaches. I am not doing that. I think we're in a good spot. But Josh, this is a game we needed to win.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me a shot here 25 minutes in, but it's okay. You've been out of it for a few days, few games. You need to get some stuff off your chest.
I'm back.
Go
here.
for it. Yeah, I mean, the result is frustrating. And then it's frustrating even more because there were some other storylines that we wanted to get to. Rust coming back into the lineup. Harkins coming up and, filling in the lineup. He took over a spot from William? No. Nylander? I'm just going to say Nylander. And Carter took Vinny's spot back. So a little bit more of a shape up in the lineup to talk about. And like you said, Ludwig on that defensive side, pairing up with Shea, that they look great tonight. So that was something that we wanted to talk about with them. Like you said, it was super nice, super refreshing to actually see a fight. Like I was watching the game with Lauren, and she goes, "Oh wow, they still fight in hockey?" Because that's how long it's been since a Penguin has fought. It just feels like seasons ago that we've had a real fight. So the end result is frustrating because there were other storylines that we wanted to get to. So to end it on that type of note is just super deflating. And like you said, like to have it happen against a team like the Nashville Predators, a team that is clearly in the process of like figuring out who they are. They're that, teenager that just had a breakup and they're trying to figure out who they are in life before, they get back into the swing of things. And thank you. And that's like super frustrating that we lost to them. Like obviously they're not the San Jose Sharks. Okay. I'm not going to say that. It's not that we lost to San Jose, but at the same time,
they're not far off.
They're not far off. No, but at the same time, it's not like we just played against, who's number one right now? Rangers are playing. Oh, Boston. Boston's playing really well too.
But sure, any of them, pick them.
Any of them, yes. Pick your poison. Any of them. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and like you said, it's nice to see Rust back out there playing fast like he has been all year, and then getting a goal. Seeing Malkin kind of play within his role today, which was nice, and got a goal. And there was something that I wanted to talk to you about tonight. I mean, if you're willing to go a little bit longer, I think we're scratching our segments just because of the time's sake. But there was something that I have been wanting to talk to you about with this on air.
Oh,
we often talk about comparisons between players and in hockey and players in football.
Yeah.
And just because, I mean, let's be honest, in the sports world, football is king. As much as
Sure.
we love hockey, as much as we'll bang the table, it's the greatest sport in the world. Football is king. So I wanted to get your opinion on this comparison that I have been battling for the last few weeks.
Oh, man.
Evgeny Malkin is Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen has all the talent in the world to be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. And yet he keeps getting in his own way and trying to force the ball, throw interceptions, try to be the hero, try to throw the deep ball. In reality, he should either run for a few yards, slide, which he never does, or check down to the running back, live to fight another day, live to fight another down. That's what Josh Allen should be doing. Same thing with Evgeny Malkin.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good one. I like that.
Because when they're on, they're at the top of the game. They're at the top of the game. When Josh Allen is, I mean, just look at him this past game against Philadelphia. You take away that interception, he had an MVP worthy type game.
Yeah.
And it was that's who he is. And that's who Malkin is. Because tonight you saw it. You saw the skill and you saw the talent. And that goal.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, when we talk about that Malkin goal, I don't want to take away from that pass from Riley Smith. Oh, baby. The awareness.
Pass. Yeah. Eyes in the back of his head, bud.
That was sweet. But yeah, that's my comparison. Your thoughts?
That's a good comparison. I like it and hate it at the same time because I'm trying. Because in previous conversations, Josh, we have stated that I think Josh Allen is a better quarterback than where people put him on a top 5.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get out of my own head here and go in what the majority would see Josh Allen as. I see Josh Allen as a top 5 quarterback on the top side of that top 5.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people go, what are you, nuts? He's top 10 at best, especially this year.
Yeah.
But to compare him to the way he plays, I agree. I think it's just one of those things where he's forcing it.
Yeah.
You know? He's forcing it and mistakes happen, which, I mean, I'm not one to bring up his mistakes, but we're bringing up Malkin. So I'm going to bring it. There was a couple times today where he turned the puck over, and I'm just like, dude.
But he scored. So you take the good with the bad.
No, see, that's what I hate. I hate that. I hate that mentality. I hate the mentality of like,
Josh Allen.
No. Josh Allen, he has a lot more things to worry about than what Evgeny Malkin has to worry about. He's not carrying that team. Okay?
True.
He has Sidney Crosby's carrying the team. He's a real quarterback. Okay? If we're being honest, we have Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen on the same team. People would be like, you guys are golden. You're set. That's just kind of where we're at right now. But where was I? I lost my He forced it on a couple times, and I hate how people just sweep it under the rug. Of like Crosby played great today. He didn't get any points. And then you look at him, people would say, well, Crosby, man, he's not producing. And then Malkin is turning the puck over every single moment, but then he scores because Riley Smith literally lays it out for him. And granted, it was a beautiful shot. It was a nice shot. And with Malkin, I want to see nice shots from him. Because he has the talent. But I hate when people go, well, he scored, so it doesn't really matter about those turnovers. I'm like, no, it does. It does. Because you can't take the good with the bad and not acknowledge the bad.
No, it's fair to acknowledge the bad. It's just...
But no one does, Josh. Go on Twitter. Go on Twitter and say Evgeny Malkin can't control the puck, and watch as the hyenas surround you. Okay? It's because they all go, no, he's so good. Look at his points. They always go, look at his points. And I'm like, I wish they counted the amount of turnovers this dude has, because he'd be in the thousands in his career. But no one counts turnovers. So my whole thing is, people like, you know how people are dumb and they'll say, oh, Crosby has this many points. And they go, well, do you see his plus minus? And it's like, well, that has nothing to do with anything. You know, I would love the real stats. Like, show me the turnovers. Show me the turnovers that led to goals. Yeah. Malkin has like a lot. And it's because he gets too cute and he gets all that stuff. But I'm not going to go on a Malkin rant.
Yeah.
You're the one who brought up Malkin. You brought up Malkin.
It was well, I wanted to talk about it.
It was a good
week,
comparison.
and
it was a good comparison. I think it's valid. Josh Allen, who has his team on his back and plays like that, makes plays that he forces, and it does not end well for him. Okay? At times, which therefore is a Malkin. But Malkin doesn't have the team on his back, even though he plays like that.
No, it's just the play style. It's just the play style.
I know, but what I'm saying is, Malkin, if you're watching, bud, right? You're in the locker room.
Yeah, okay? That's what they're doing. They're getting ready to go
They're all
home
surrounded
to their
on
families,
YouTube.
And they're all watching
They're watching us right now. You know, they're like, what did these guys have to say about our performance tonight? I can't sleep.
Sully comes in. No. Hold on.
Hey, boys. No swagger. All right, listen. Turn on TPC right now. Let's see what these boys got to say. You know, I will say it has crossed my mind a couple times that they do watch. And here's the reason why I think. I'm not conceited. We know.
They drop things.
They drop names, okay?
Yeah.
With the Letang incident, they said it's been well chronicled. That's an account on Twitter that doesn't have that many followers, okay? In retrospect, okay? Doesn't have a lot of followers.
In the grand scheme of Twitter.
Doesn't, what? It's like 600, maybe?
No, that account at least has 1,000.
I'll double check that.
But yes, you are correct.
Anyway, in the grand scheme of things,
that
doesn't have a lot.
They drop things like that.
And Mike Sullivan name dropped him subtly.
Yeah.
Okay, subtly. And everyone on planet Earth knew what he was talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's literally like it's pretty much Mike Sullivan saying, I see you.
Acknowledging the crap that was being said on Twitter.
Yeah.
He said it without saying it, which everyone was like, oh my gosh, Mike Sullivan has a burner account. You know, like, that's what everyone thought. And I honestly think there are some days.
I don't think it was Sullivan, though. I think it was the.
Well, it's definitely people who brought it to Sullivan's attention.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't think Sullivan's going like this after a game going, what did they say about me? What they say? I don't think he does that. Even though that's what I would do if I was the head coach. I'd be like, they want to do what? You know. Are we still live, NES Addict, coming in 36 minutes into the conversation? Yeah, we are, buddy. Welcome to the chat, NES.
Well, hold on, but not for much longer.
Yeah, not for much longer, buddy. You better get your comments in now, and we'll talk to you. But no, I think Mike Sullivan, not Mike Sullivan personally, but I think some people watch us. And we have, Josh, we have the counts, we have the views. It's all good, NES. It's all good. We have the views, we have all that. So I do think some people in the organization watch. Here's why, Josh.
Yeah.
I was the only human being 2 weeks ago saying Evgeny Malkin should be on the second power play. And then what did you know? You know what they started doing?
At practice.
They were like, let's put Malkin on second power play. And everyone was like, whoa, this is a new development. I'm like, not if you're watching TPC live after every single game, because that's what I've been spewing for 2 straight weeks, that Malkin should be on the second power play, spread out the talent, and then get it going. You even said it on the last game against the Rangers. You were mentioning that that's what I've been always saying about putting Malkin on the second power play, and they start doing it in practice, which makes me think someone goes, hey, coach, or in that coach being Todd Reardon, dude, should we try like putting Malkin on the second line? And he goes, why not, dude? Let's try it for practice. Let's do it, because I feel like Todd Reardon has no idea what the frick he's doing. So he'll listen to the water boy, be like, yeah, dude, sounds great. Let's try that. Malkin, go on the second power play unit, bud. And I feel like there are people that watch it, and it's talked about in the locker room. I'm sure it does, because
I know that they talk about things that are being said about them. I'm sure of it. You can't keep it out in this day and age.
They're human. Because we all know the incident with Letang and the account we're talking about.
Yeah.
They were saying some rough things, okay? Some out of hand, out of pocket things that was a little too much, okay? And they're for the Penguins, I may add you. Like, it's not a rival account. This is for the Penguins. And he was saying some pretty weird stuff about Letang. And I'm sure that got into the locker room of people going, dude, don't listen to that crap. Like, don't let that affect you. And I think we've been pretty positive on the Twitterverse.
Except for Malkin.
No, I'm positive about Malkin. I'm positive that he turns the puck over. And if he was sitting right here, I would tell him, hey, dude, you're a generational talent that should not be turning the puck over. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Which
it's tough love. It's
tough love. You're too good to do this. If Ludwig is turning the puck over, I'm like, well, that's what you get on the fourth line.
Well, but defense.
Yeah, but that's what you get on a guy on the third rotation. That's what you get. But Malkin, no way, Jose. That you're too good for this. Now, we've been positive on this podcast, and I listen for these interviews, Josh. If he ever says the word collective, and I'm like, is that us? But it hasn't.
That's pretty good.
It hasn't been said yet. The reason why is because we're too nice, Josh. I think we're too nice, because I've been quoted saying that I would take a bullet for Mike Sullivan. Where's my shot at, Mike?
we should talk to Josh. We should talk to.
He has these interviews, and I honestly think Kyle Dubas pays attention to. Listen, there's only like a handful, I think 5 Penguins podcasts out there. Yeah. That actually have traction.
I think there's closer to 10.
No, I don't think so. If you look up Pittsburgh Penguins podcasts,
we're
in there.
Should we call them out?
No, I don't give them free attention. You find that on your own, okay?
And then come back to us. You come back to
us. NES.
NES is listening.
Don't put it on the chat, bud. Yeah, thanks for putting us second. Thanks for putting us second on your list.
He's so far not wrong with his list. But
okay, here's where I'll argue with DK Sports. That's Pittsburgh only.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
But he said that's all I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I would say 6 max. That there are Penguins, but there's tip of the iceberg or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
There's
and then there's the other one on THPN.
Isn't that tip of the iceberg?
Mm-mm.
Oh, whoops. Anyway, I know there's about 6. Okay, so let's be generous. Say there's 7 podcasts about the Pittsburgh Penguins. Kyle Dubas has a lot of free time right now. Okay, I'm sure he's making phone calls.
NES, throw that up. I did not know that.
Tip of the iceberg is the same as inside the Penguins. They're the same people.
I didn't know that.
It's like A and B, so they're double dipping and they're packaging it up as 2 things. Is that what you're telling me, NES?
Double dipping.
They're double dipping.
Hey, I mean, if it works, it works.
We would double dip. I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
You know what I want? He's saying pretty much. NES is saying pretty much. Listen, I think Kyle Dubas listens every now and then just to see what the temperature of the fan base is like. I don't think he's coming on to going like, oh, who do they want us to trade? You know, I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he's like listening like, oh man, they're really very mad at Mike Sullivan. Or, you know, there's something like this. But none of these stooges are as good as you guys. NES! Thank you. I'll throw that up there. Thank you so much, bud.
He's the man.
He's a man. NES
Or
is
she.
great.
No, it's
he has a wife. He
wife.
referenced having a wife. NES.
Don't like assuming genders.
Yeah, Josh, how dare you? It's 2023.
2023.
Figure it out. No, I think Kyle Dubas actually listens just to get the temperature of where we're at. I mean, I would.
If that's the case, we gotta step up our game.
I don't think so. I think we have the best production value of any of these podcasts, Josh. Look at these moving graphics, dude.
We gotta try and get him on the pod.
Look at these moving graphics. Best in the game.
Which, by the way, total side note. So I was watching Pat McAfee show, and he had Kirk Herbstreit on, and Kirk Herbstreit started counting like this, and guess what popped up on the screen?
This.
Boom. So you know what that means?
Restream.
They use Restream.
They use Restream, dude. We'll hack in. No, honestly, Josh, we're going to become the Pat McAfees of the Penguin sports world. Okay?
As long as I'm AJ Hawk.
Dude, I'll be Pat McAfee, dude.
In the cube. Just give me the cube.
Yeah. Just with the fake background of books.
Yeah. Father of 10.
Any
COVID survivor.
Drives to 2 feet.
But that's
horrible
I think
driver.
Those are the only 2 I can claim of his list. I'm not the president of Ohio.
Or he's Super Bowl winner.
Super Bowl champion.
NES, do you watch Pat McAfee show?
Better than Mark Madden, absolutely.
Oh, dude, Mark Madden. I go back and forth.
Wait, are we talking about Pat McAfee better than Mark Madden or us better than Mark Madden? Because I don't think we're better than Mark Madden.
I don't know about that. I don't think so. Oh, you don't know Pat McAfee. Okay. Now, are you responding to Josh's original question? NES, I need you to clarify, are we better or worse than Mark Madden?
This episode's going off the rails.
I don't care, Josh. I don't care. We lost a horrible game. There was a blatant penalty. Guess what? That clock is ticking, Josh. Who cares? Mark Madden can only scream. Yeah, he does scream a lot. Yeah, I don't know Pat McAfee better than screaming Mark Madden. Well, thank you. I will say I go back and forth on Mark Madden. He has some really good takes, and I'm like, yes. But then in the same rant, he loses me. Where he starts off like, oh, Evgeny Malkin does so many turnovers. And I'm like, yeah, man, preach it. And then he goes, we should sell the team and move to Atlanta. I'm like, whoa, nope. You were there, though. You were there. So he's for the record, Mark Madden has never said we should sell the team and move to Atlanta.
But a joke.
Just a joke. Don't sue us, please. Mark Madden has better lawyers than us.
Quick question. Do you think he uses any of the ones that are advertised during the hockey games?
I feel like he does, right? Like David Traeger. like David Schrager or the Twins or what other ones are in
Oh my
Pittsburgh sports worlds? What about the guy who's like retired now? Edgar Snyder and Associates. That dude.
Yeah.
He's retired now.
He's the retired guy, but talking about all of his associates.
Yeah. He's like, these guys. Like he's sitting on a park bench and they're like, how do you feel about your employees? He's like, I got the best around, dude. They're so good. I hired them myself.
Who's the guy that counts with his hand when he's doing the phone number? Oh no, he does this.
At the end where he goes like, yeah. I don't know. I have to watch it again. I should be in Pittsburgh and not South Carolina. Dude, Pittsburgh's where it's at, man.
Yo,
like,
let's
NES.
swap. Let's swap NES.
Oh,
I'd love to go south. I want to go south.
Josh is so
sick of this
weird.
cold.
I love Pittsburgh.
20 degrees today.
Dude, it's how cold is it right now in Pittsburgh?
I could barely breathe out there.
So, for those of you who don't know, I am like 7 minutes from the arena. It's 23 degrees right now.
Yeah.
It's very cold. But all that being said, Pittsburgh Penguins lost, and it's frustrating. And we have, you know what, Josh? We're 49 minutes and I don't care. NES says, you can assume genders down here, dude.
I love it. Sign me up,
dude. South is where it's at.
South is where it's at.
Notice how I joked about it's 2023. You should absolutely assume genders all the time.
Yeah.
I don't care, Josh. I know you're like, whoa, let's not get a little too carried away on our podcast. I don't care.
As long as mothers are off limits, if you know what I mean.
You mean adult females, Josh?
No, mothers.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking
Specifically, teammates' mothers.
Oh, Connor Bedard, Corey Perry situation. I just want to know what he did. Like, all like theories aside.
Well, the theory is that Corey Perry
banged Bedard's mom. That's not what happened. Obviously, somebody just started that rumor. But I want to know what he did. So I just want, like, they came out with a statement today. They were just like, we're not going to release what he did. We're not going to release our findings. We're not going to even release our investigation. But he definitely didn't bang Bedard's mom. So we can all stop talking about it. Anyway, we don't know what's going on with the whole situation. And I'm just like, all right, dude, did he bang Bedard's mom or no? Like,
yeah. And that's probably why the Penguins never did Mom's Week. They always do Dad's Week.
Yeah, they did. Oh, yeah, that's right. They do Dad's Week.
They do Dad's Week.
Moms.
They don't do Mom's Week.
I think they've done Moms before.
I don't know. I don't recall. It's always been Dad's, as long as I can remember.
I don't know. Guys, next week we're going to have Corey Perry on the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine.
Yeah,
Imagine
hockey exclusive.
And no one wants to touch him with a 10-foot pole. And we're like, dude, come on our podcast. We're not even a Penguin. Come on. I want to know what happened, dude.
Yeah.
No, his agent would be like, stay away from interviews. This episode, this show, a quote from Pat McAfee. This show stinks, dude.
This show stinks.
I love how self-aware Pat McAfee is. I really do. But I also, when you're that good,
yeah, you can't say this show stinks anymore.
Yeah, because he's so good now. Where he goes, dude, this show stinks. I'm like, stop it. How much money do you have right now? And honestly, here's I'm gonna say something a little insulting to Pat McAfee. Dude has like so like ridiculous amount of money. Get a better stage, dude. You bought a church.
That's why
you bought a church and you got blocked because you supported a Pat McAfee hater. Are you still blocked from Pat McAfee?
I'm still blocked. The only reason why I'm blocked is because that person commented exactly what you just said. That like the stage and the lighting could have used better work. and like
Yeah.
kind of said that like instead of putting all your effort into like a full basketball court and blah blah blah, that's what it should
he
have been
went a
used
little
for.
mean. I'm just saying with Pat
still.
McAfee having so much. This was before the ESPN deal, though.
Which he had more money from.
No, I know. I'm saying
took less
now.
from ESPN.
I'm talking right now, on November 28th, 2023. Dude should invest in like a better stage. I'm not saying the people that are on his team cannot do it.
No.
Which I think is what he was insinuating, wasn't he?
No. No, he was talking about the lighting, the sound, and
I'm gonna get
just the
blocked
stage.
from Pat McAfee now, Josh.
You are. They're gonna find us.
I hope they do. How cool would it be if Pat McAfee watches the show?
That would be wild.
That would be wild. And then he goes, "These stooges, we're gonna put them on." Like, oh, crap.
I'll watch tomorrow to find out.
Unless he blocks us from watching his live stream. But he can't because he's the part of ESPN now, and they got control of you, buddy. Anyway, I'm just saying with the amount of money, right? If he had all this money, he bought a church, renovated it. It's awesome. The Thunderdome is awesome. Totally cool. But I felt like the stage could have been better. Like you know the stage he did for FanDuel when he was at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And that setup, do something like that. Like make it more Rich Eisen kind of situation.
Yeah, because that was all like kind of same level. I think he wanted it to be like facing each other.
I know, but that's because he had it in his old studio. They didn't have room, you know. Now he has like a stage. Now, if I'm Pat McAfee, what I would do, especially for live shows, bring in an audience, dude. Have people pay to be there.
I don't know. I don't think that would work. I don't think that would work for that type of show.
I think it'd be great because then he could hype people up when he shoots his basketball. And then when, crap, like literally stuff happens on that show where you couldn't write. Like Ty crapping his pants live on air. Dude, that's entertainment,
That's wild. That was wild.
All right, NES comes in with the chat. Do you guys listen to Real Kuiper and Bourne at all? I know it's Toronto based, but sometimes they have on Colby Armstrong. I've heard of these guys. I think I've heard of them. I haven't. I will say efforts were made to try to get Colby Armstrong on this podcast. He's like a great whale right now.
And yes, let me tell you, Louis has pitched this podcast to every current and former Penguin player and employee. He has searched high and low.
Listen, when we got Josh Getzoff, we were like, that's it.
Yeah.
We're Pat McAfee. We're like, we nailed it. I'm just going to throw this up and let this ride for a little bit. Thanks, dude. Thanks, NES. Dude, no, you're my hero, NES. I love the Nintendo Entertainment System, dude. Same. No, I really want this show to be cool, and I want it to be like Pat McAfee, because how real they are. That's one of the things that I loved about.
Yeah, they poop on stage.
They poop on stage, and they get away with it. Like if that happened to an anchor on ESPN, they would just cut the screen and go to a commercial. They were like, let's keep the camera on Ty waddling away.
Yeah. I think they're like, see it.
I don't know. He came back on with the same pants, which is wild that they don't have like sweatpants.
He didn't come back on. He didn't come back on.
Yes, he did.
That was the third hour. He left.
No, he came back on. He said, remember the whole bit where he put it in his backpack? He said he put his underwear in his backpack.
Oh, did I miss that?
Yeah, he came back. He came back. He got new underwear because apparently there's underwear in the office, but no sweatpants. No for the branded sweatpants in the offices. Dude, he has a whole church. Okay, Can't find one room, one closet. Oh, all right. NES, thanks for bringing us back on to hockey, dude. I appreciate you. NES comes in and say you guys need to do a trade deadline stream. Absolutely. We actually last year did a episode for the trade deadline, but we weren't doing live episodes. So we'll do a live trade deadline. Josh, we're gonna go from like 8 a.m. to like 8 p.m. just straight streaming.
I don't think so.
I think so. I think that'd be awesome. Just to be like sitting here talking crap. And I was like, we got to trade.
When is it?
Trade deadline. All right. Hey, Siri, when is the trade deadline for the NHL?
Oh.
It's the 40th day before. What are you talking about? All right. Josh has dad duty to do. And that's fine. That's completely fine. I'm willing to just keep on going. We're hitting an hour on this podcast. I absolutely love it. NES comes in saying trade breakers. Dude, I would love that. I just don't know if I'm hitting my mic, it's falling. I just don't know if the Penguins are looking to do anything at the trade deadline. That's the weird thing. And I don't know Kyle Dubas that well yet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know Kyle Dubas as a GM, a fan to a GM being like, oh, he's definitely going to make a trade or he's definitely going to cook something up. I don't know. Are the Penguins good enough to make a run this year? Maybe. Does Kyle Dubas go out and do something? I don't know. That's the hard thing. Yeah, so NES says, yeah, it depends on how far in or out the race we are. Yeah, it depends. I say if there are rumors that we're going to make a trade at the deadline, we'll do a live stream. Okay, I'll give you that. But if Kyle Dubas states before the trade deadline, we're not doing anything. We like the roster. We're not doing a live stream because nothing's going to happen. So, who knows? NES comes back and says Toronto is my second favorite team. So I loved when we got Dubas, even if it's a recap live stream. Okay, yeah, we could do that. First of all, I have a hot topic for you, NES Addict. I'm going to stir the pot here. I don't believe in having two favorite teams. I think that's kind of bogus. So call me out on that if you will. This is what I think. All right, so NES, we found he knows about that dad life. He's married. We're assuming his gender is a male. I'm assuming you're a little older or around the same age as us. So let me tell you a little conversation I had with the younger generation over the weekend. Okay, Josh? I sat down and said he had a Steelers jersey on, a JJ Watt jersey, or TJ, just whatever. And NES comes in with his age. Yep, he's a little bit older, but that's A-okay.
Not far off.
He has a TJ Watt jersey on. And I said, oh, is your favorite team the Steelers? Are you watching them today? And he goes, no, I'm a Dolphins fan. I says, hold up. I said, you're wearing a Steelers jersey. And he responded by saying, yeah, I just like them because I'm in Pittsburgh. But my favorite team is the Dolphins. And I said, okay, when did you start liking them? And he goes, this year. I was like, so you liked them when they were good?
The Dolphins? You talking about the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like them now. That's like saying, oh, yeah, I like the Eagles now because they're so good.
Yeah.
You didn't like them when a couple years ago? Before they had Jalen Hurts? I mean, before they had Jalen Hurts and won the Super Bowl. But before that? When they had Donovan McNabb and they went to the Super Bowl. Before that, dude?
Well, after that. Who'd they have after? Vince Young.
I don't know. Vince Young. Yeah, at the Vince Young time, did you like
Yeah.
that? You weren't even born yet, dude.
Yeah, the dream team.
I don't like having two favorite teams. I think that's bogus. And I think the young generation here, I'm sounding super old, but this young generation has no loyalty. All right. I am a ride
Correct.
till I die kind of guy. All right. My wife Abby always says, hey, if the Penguins trade away Sidney Crosby, which they will never do, but if they trade away Sidney Crosby, will you still be a Penguins fan? And I said, yes. I'm not yes, I'm a Sidney Crosby ride or die, but
But it's
he's
because
not
he's a Penguin.
He's not. Yes, correct. But he's not the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
He's Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
I root for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Right? That's why I'm all for like Ludwig fighting. Dude, I had no idea who you were like a month ago. But
Yeah,
I'm
he's the
happy
guy
you're
who
here.
got hit in the middle of the ice and got
I said a
concussed.
month ago. Oh, sorry.
That's exactly when it happened.
No, I'm thinking of like before the season started. It's just crazy to me.
Sure. That's now 2 months ago?
Yeah, so all right, let's say 3 months ago, I had no idea this dude existed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ride or die, dude. Ludwig. Logo on the front is a heck of a lot more important than the name on the back. Get that through your head again. That is a quote from Miracle.
That's very nice.
If you're listening to this on the audio version, dude, I am so sorry. I'm surprised you got this far. I'm sure we're gonna go look back, and the retention is just gonna.
No, it's not even gonna be decline. It's just gonna go boom,
boom, just a straight cliff. Right now, it's just three dudes hanging out on a podcast right now, which I appreciate. NES has made some, as I was going on my 2-team rant, he was responding to my question. So I started watching Steve Dangle a few years back. Shout out. And he got me into the Leafs as he is a Leafs superfan. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
So it is just gives me another team to keep up as well. But trust me, the Pens are number one always. Keep it that way, NES. The logo on the front is a heck of a lot more important than the name on the back. What's funny is I'll go back and listen to. Hey, dude, thanks for listening from the beginning. I appreciate that, NES. Also, I found Steve Dangle when the Kessel trade happened because of his reaction. And I thought that was so funny, and I've been following him ever since. Do I like the Leafs? No, they could stay up in Canada, but
I don't think they plan on moving.
No. Like, don't come down. I don't even play Pittsburgh. Stay up there, dude. But my point is that, you know, I watch him from time to time. And I think that's the time when I followed him. So, yeah, he was super entertaining with that. Well, side note, if anyone's still listening or watching, we were in contact with SPDN. Trying to get involved, trying to make some moves, Josh. You know what I'm saying? But that was before THPN came in and wooed us, courted us. What's the word I'm looking for?
I think swooned.
Swooned was right.
I think it
Swooned.
was right.
Like they came in and were like,
or wooed.
Or Wood came in and said, hey, good looking. You want to join our podcast network? And we're like, yeah. Hey, that's exactly how they came in. That's not how they came in. Wood. NES is saying wood. Wood is definitely the right thing to say. But yeah, THPN came in and wooed us. Josh, when's the next Penguins game?
Thursday.
Oh my gosh, another break?
No.
Break. It's every other day.
It's a day.
Josh, relax.
Which, if we don't end this episode soon, it's just going to be tomorrow.
We got 4 minutes until it is. It's against the Tampa Bay Lightning, which they're kind of in the similar spot as us. They're kind of in the similar spot.
Yeah.
We're 10-10, which, oh my gosh, dude, we suck right now. And then they're 10-10. We're 10-10.
We should be 10-10-1 though.
Okay. Sorry, Josh. 10-10-1. Does that make our record any better, Josh?
Yes, it makes it 1 point better. And NES, I can't click on comments, NES. I can't click on comments.
Calm down.
Their
What?
goalie is back.
Yeah,
and that was something I was
Vasilevsky.
going to talk about.
Okay, all right. But the Lightning is 10-7-5, which means they're pretty much right where we're at. And yes, Vasilevsky. What was that face for? They have 10 wins, 7 losses, and then 5 overtime losses.
Yeah, so that means they have 5 points more than us. 4 points more than us. Because remember, hockey goes by points. It doesn't matter by your record.
Hey, listen to me. Listen to me. Do they have more than 10 wins or less than 10 wins, Josh?
They have...
Josh, do they have more than 10 wins or less than 10 wins? And how many wins do we have, Josh? More than 10 wins?
So
okay.
We're not the same.
Because, all right, Josh, where is their losses then, Josh? Let's do some basic math.
They have 5 overtime losses.
I understand. They still lost, Josh.
Yes, but they still got a point. So
okay, so what's better? Us sucking in regulation or them still losing in overtime? I get the points, Josh. I get it.
Losing in overtime is better than just losing in regulation.
It's the Wicked Witch of the West, bro.
Different names for the same thing. Yes.
Whatever. Different names for the same thing.
This was our life growing up. This
is what made me go, hey Josh, we should do a podcast.
Honestly.
But anyway, Vasilevsky is back for the Toronto. Dang it. Tampa Bay Lightning. And big whoop. Just whatever. I don't care. We're gonna score on them. Crosby's gonna be so that's a Death Cab for Cutie reference. Different names for the same thing? Is that the Death Cab for Cutie reference? That's a band, Josh. Do you know that's a band?
It's all going over my head.
Wow.
Can I go to bed?
Hey, Josh, you know what? You're here until I let you go. All right? Oh, my gosh. So when we say this show stinks, we actually mean it. Like, look at this, dude. We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes, and we really only talked about the game for like a quarter of this episode. It was either Josh Allen.
30 minutes.
I would say less than that. I mean, we talked about Josh Allen for 20. We talked about...
No, that was only 15. I was watching the timer. I was watching it. You weren't. You let this puppy go.
You know why, Josh? Because the best moments are not timed, you know?
Gosh.
You just got to let it flow. All right? You can't just be monetizing everything, Josh. You can't always be looking at times and all this. You got to let things flow. You got to let things out.
Honestly, I didn't know I was dealing with a philosophizer.
All right. Let's time to wrap it up. NES says, I feel like yins are here just to entertain me.
Possibly.
That we are, dude. Like, we are here just for entertainment sake. I'm glad we're entertaining because I'm sure if I was watching this, I would feel like this show absolutely stinks. But I'm glad that you're here for the ride, just as many others are. Thank you guys so much for joining this horrible episode. Hey, Pittsburgh Penguins lost in a horrible fashion. We're ending this in a horrible fashion. We will see you guys Thursday against the Tampa Bay Lightning. I almost said Toronto. Tampa Bay Lightning. Is that a 7 o'clock game, Joshua?
Yes, 7 o'clock.
Thank goodness. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode. We'll see you guys next one. You guys could follow us at Pens Collective on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and you can find us on all
audio
podcast platforms. That's what it's called. We're on iHeartRadio. Do you hear that? We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Amazon, dude. Like, we're everywhere. So make sure you go on all your favorite platforms and give it a review. Say, man, these guys just wasted an hour of my life and it was the best hour. That's what I want to see from you guys. Hopefully. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for sticking through this one. Josh, do you have anything else to say?
No, I thought you were going to lob it up for me. I was ready.
Josh, as always,
Let's go, Pens.